Dude, I had to get a bank draft and it cost $750, and I'm like, come on, man. Like, I don't want to pay this $750 out of this. Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani and
Steve Zalunardo. Welcome to our podcast.
This is East Meets West.
Yes.
And we're in the best spot, the East.
I don't know, buddy. Traffic. Actually, today was good. March break, no traffic.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you should be okay. Yeah, you can almost get away without the 407 today.
I know, but I still took it anyways.
I know you did.
Yeah, I didn't take a chance. I took my wife's truck this morning. So
nice.
Yeah.
Are you still driving your Audi?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you like that thing, man.
Scrap.
Yeah,
Not a good vehicle. No. So good. Yeah, I can't. My Benz is coming back this week.
Is it coming back this week?
So in like Formula One, this is the first race of the season.
Yeah.
Mercedes AMG this Friday in Australia.
You're gonna have your
I
car
even
back.
have the jersey on. Hey?
And you're gonna get your car back.
Yeah, fair enough.
Did you go and take a look at it, all the lines and everything?
Yeah,
makes
I
sense?
already warned the girl. I said, listen, I've been hand washing the car. Please, when you look at the car, just like it's never been scratched. Just like if the tow truck driver like bumped into it, just polish it before I get there so I don't see it. Right?
Yeah.
I just want to pick up the car with no bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I know the way I am. I'm warning them the way I am. It's like, I become a different person when I'm there, right? So it's like pre-warning.
You know what? We were talking about the C43 coupe before too, right? I actually saw.
Oh my gosh!
Did
I show you the one? I want to get?
Yeah. You showed me the blue one.
Yeah.
I saw a black one on the road, and I said, "Oh my god, man,
Gorgeous.
This thing is amazing."
They put a C63 grill on it.
Yeah.
Right. They kind of. So everything kind of stays the same. The rear diffuser is so aggressive now, and it's got quad.
This thing has like what, 20 horsepower more
20
than the ones
extra,
we have?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it drives different. Transmission set up a little different.
Yeah.
Because I took it out. Nelson gave it. Let me take it out.
Yeah.
Totally different. And now it's not. You know, ours is very like noisy from the exhaust.
Yes.
This is all like engine noise.
That's awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah,
I don't know how they changed it, but it's pretty cool car. Not only that, it has all this new computer system in there where you can measure your 0 to 60 times.
Oh, no way.
So you hit the brake, brake and gas, and you launch it, and
it keeps tabs of it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I did it. I think that car still needs to be broken in, but it was like 5.5 seconds. It should be like 3.8 seconds.
Come on, that fast?
Yeah, easy. Your car is 3.9 seconds.
Is it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. Or maybe no, because mine was chipped. No, it's there. Four seconds. Yeah,
it's fast.
crazy,
All I know is it's fast.
Yeah,
I was very surprised about that car, that 43.
Yeah, it goes like
quick.
a bomb.
Yeah.
So quarter mile time, 0 to 60 times, full miles. Like you can do all this different track now.
Yeah.
Before you used to have that module in your car that would track like your 0 to 60 times. Now it's all in-house.
Wow.
How
so
cool
now
is
it'd
that?
be really cool to take it on the track.
Yeah, the car's ready for the track. Its steering wheel's nice and fatter now.
Yeah.
And it's all different. Like our steering wheels were nice, but now you got to see like it's so gorgeous.
Nice.
Like, so refined.
Yeah.
All digital dash.
Wow.
Everything's all digital. It's incredible. Like honestly, the day I got hit, that morning there was supposed. I talked to Lease Busters the night before. I was supposed to send in my.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was I was going to pay the $300 fee to get it on their system and then ultimately unload it.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to step into the 19, right?
Yeah.
But I got rear-ended, so we'll see how that works out.
So
I don't think.
Would that make a difference on Lease Busters?
Nelson says no.
Yeah.
I gotta see.
I don't think it would matter as long as Mercedes is okay with it, because ultimately it has to be returned back to them. Right?
Yeah.
So as long as they're okay with it, why would anyone else care?
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
I think I'm gonna.
Unless they're gonna buy it out. If they're
That's
gonna
the
buy
thing.
it out, then the residual value would be messed up.
That's the thing. I have 30 or 29 months left on the lease. Nelson gave me out 6 months earlier, so that's like 23 months, so almost 2 years.
Yeah.
In this car, if I have to stay.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But I want that. The problem is if we don't get into these cars now, by the time I trade that car in, the new model will be right around the corner. So
that's not bad either.
I know, but I like this one. I want to drive this one. I want to drive the new, just a two-door. I want a two-door now. I haven't had a two-door since I was my first vehicle, right?
No way.
So it's time.
I don't know. Yeah. We'll consider it. We'll see. Yeah. I'm getting antsy with this one because once that rim thing screwed up on me the other week, as soon as something like that happens, I'm just like,
You feel like car's broken?
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't want this one anymore now.
How many kilometers?
This one has 57. Just hit 57K.
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah, I just hit 57K.
Yeah.
I think I got exactly a year left on it now.
Yeah.
It comes up next year, March. Yeah. Got 39-month lease. So,
fair enough. Yeah.
So it'll come up next.
Yeah, no, they're good cars, right? The only thing is if you can't get into the V8 version because it's rear-wheel drive, like the C63.
You're not going to go and get anywhere, man.
Too much.
Yeah.
I drove one for the summer. It was like insane. Yo, but you couldn't.
But the thing is that even with the 43, right? Like the tires that it comes with, the summer tires or whatever else, they're like you're not moving anywhere.
Well, they're useless. Yeah,
you're not in the snow.
After 7 degrees, they stop working.
Yo, but even in like I would say like a 2 inches of snow, that car is not going anywhere,
no,
dude.
There's no the rubber hardens up after 7 degrees.
Yeah.
There's nothing left. That's why when I see you driving, it's like -5. You don't want to make a turn with that thing.
No. It doesn't move. It doesn't go anywhere. Yeah. So I never buy winter tires and rims, but that last year I had to buy them because that car is useless otherwise.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then you were in the summer wheels for in the winter too.
Yeah,
you don't want to have all the salt stains, right?
Yeah. I don't care.
You don't care.
I don't care, man. I just drive it like a truck.
Talk about real estate.
I guess so. Is that what we're here to do?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Just it's.
You just got me carried away with your attire today. I actually thought I might dress up a little bit nicer because you're always like, showing me off.
Going back to Formula One, so this is the first week, and you should try it. You should watch it. So it's going to be some crazy hours because it's in Australia. Yeah. So qualifying on practice is going to be on Friday 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Which usually it's always like at 7 a.m. And then qualifying is going to be from 1 a.m. to P3 is going to be like 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. And then I think 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. is going to be the actual qualifying.
Crazy.
Then the race is going to be at 1:10 in the morning on the following day.
Wow.
So those are going to be a cool.
So you're going to be up?
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
You stay awake?
Yeah. Drink an espresso and then go.
Okay, good for you.
We're going to do it here. Nobody told you?
We should do it here.
Yeah, we should do it.
Why not? Yeah. You can just crash upstairs.
Yeah, fair enough. There you go. The mezzanine.
Yeah, I'll hose you off in the morning. All right, real estate. How was your week?
It was good. It's good. I firmed up that condo, thank God.
Awesome.
Literally, that was one of those deals where I had to, because there was, so the condo wasn't bad naturally. So status wasn't perfect. Let's just say that.
Why was it like special assessment?
It had a special assessment, but it was fading out.
So it was almost done.
Yeah, so there's some huge insurance claims that this tenant was smoking. He flicked a cigarette out. He had boxes and crap on on the porch there, or whatever the terrace. Caught the box on fire, burns the top of the building.
Wow.
It's a small niche building,
a
boutique building, 3-story. Fair enough. So now, the one insurance claim, it's okay, and that's fine. Like a month later, 2 months later, another person, not a tenant itself, but an actual resident owner on the other side of the building, again, cigarette, smoking.
Same thing?
Yeah. Burns, bloody, the bottom of the building, they had to vacate the building, something crazy anyway.
Wow.
So now smoking's banned on the premises.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Great idea.
Yeah.
But the insurance went up like drastically.
Yeah.
So there was the condo fees were super expensive, $600 plus for 900 square feet. But there was nothing included in it,
amenities and stuff.
No amenities.
Nothing.
Period. Like no pool, no gym, nothing like that. And then ultimately, I had the special assessment of I think it was, I want to say $125 extra per month.
Wow.
So $630 plus $125.
Wow, that's a lot, man.
For nothing, right?
That's a lot.
In a boutique building, really, and anything can go wrong naturally.
Yeah.
So what I did when trying to sell it, I literally fed the information slowly to the agent just to kind of get them engaged, and then I fed them okay, this is we have this you have to deal with now, and then just fed it to them very mouth fed the whole deal.
Yeah, keep them going. Otherwise, if you dump all of that shot, everyone's going to turn away. Yeah.
Anyway, we firmed up.
Good.
So long story short, So that was good. Listings, I got all those big listings on the market. I just got the last one from Bolton on.
I saw that one, the single car detached.
Single car, it's nice. A cute house. Yeah, back down the ravine.
Yeah.
What else?
It's a good price actually too.
$839. I think
it's a good price.
Yeah, it's not bad. Low 8s should do it, right?
Yeah.
It's renovated and conservation, backed on the conservation with the ravine.
Yeah, that looks good.
What else is there? So we submitted a few offers. They didn't go anywhere. I knew it because we were just priced too low, just to get the people engaged. That's fine. And I signed 2 listings last night.
Congrats,
man. We'll see how that works out this Friday. We got to make sure everything is kosher with the bank before we go any step further, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah,
that's it. How about yourself?
Yeah, so we had, like I keep talking about that sweet spot in terms of price that we have here. So we had 2 listings that went up at $699 last week or so. And then we've sold one conditionally almost right away. It firmed up yesterday or 2 days ago. We ended up getting $690 for it.
Nice.
It's a little bit lower than I even wanted to get, but it's an interesting story. I met with that seller January 1st for a listing appointment, and he was look, I might have someone to buy this house privately or whatever else like that. I said, you got to do what you got to do. So I followed up with him the following week. He's like, they're going to buy it. It's all good. I said, okay, great. And he has a new house that's closing in like 4 weeks, now 3 weeks from now. And he calls me like 5 weeks out and he's like, yeah, the guy bailed. He just like, he ended up waiving the conditions and everything else like that. And he just can't close. Like there's no way he's going to be able to close. I need to sell this house fast.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So, like I said, I would have liked to get more for the property, but in the situation that we were in, that's the best you can do. And we had a guy that was willing to close within like 25 days.
Yeah?
Yeah, so we got a guy that was willing to close within 25 days.
Fantastic.
They came through with the home inspection, and they're just like, so it's a 7-year-old home. In the master bedroom, they said one of the windows, the gas seal or whatever around it has, been broken or whatever else. So they're like and the condition was written so poorly in the amendment, but basically they're just like, you have to replace this window or replace the seal or whatever else.
Yeah.
You know what I did? Like my client obviously is stressed out because he needs to sell this house to close on the other one. Yeah. He's like, okay, just tell him yes. Just tell him, buddy, you got to hold on, man. Just chill. Like you hired me. I mean, even if it's a couple $100, I'll help you save it, but just chill. So he's like freaking out, and I told him we're not going to lose this deal over a couple $100. Just relax. I just went back to the agent and I said, like, look, there's no way we're going to do it. Just it's not happening. And eventually they just sent me a notice of fulfillment because you can gauge on certain things, right? So why should I get the guy to pay?
You still had it in your hand anyways. If they say, well, we don't want the deal anymore, like here, sign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's either way, it's going to be fine.
You're holding the bird, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And so we got that one done. There was another one we listed at $699. We knew we were like more or less right on the money for that house, but we might have a chance of going a bit over. We had one offer we had 2 offers that came in, and then we ended up working with one of the offers, which was a little bit lower, but they had reduced conditions. So they didn't have a home inspection, and they were telling me that, they send in the contract with 5 days financing, but they'll get it done in 2 days. And I was like, you sure? Text message confirmed, yeah. So we signed it back. It was already late, so I gave them until the next day noon to, accept it and send it back. The agent messages me back, and she's just like, no, we need 5 days. I was like, but you told me to, man. Like, you got to sign off on this contract. They're like, no, I'm not going to send you anything back because we need 5 days. I'll change it to 5 and send it back. I was just like, whatever. So we went back to the other guy that, said 5 days. He never budged on his 5 days, but he's like, I'll try to do it sooner if I can or whatever. And they're paying a couple $1,000 more. So as soon as I said, okay, we'll work it out with you, this was a Friday. On Saturday, they did a home inspection already. And done. Came back with a couple of things or whatever. We're just waiting on financing right now. But, I mean, the guy seems pretty solid.
And they invested in the home inspection.
Yeah. So
it's almost done.
Yeah, so I don't really, he told me the pre-approval is right up to this number. And I know the value of the property. Like, it's not going to have a problem in terms of appraisals or anything else like that. Yeah. So that was good. We're getting some more activity on one of the other listings. So like, 1.2 in Pickering is on a higher end, I guess. Yeah. So like we're starting to get more activity on it on one of the other ones. And then we have a new listing that's going to come out next week for a townhouse. It's priced at the sweet spot of $550 or something, condo townhouse. So boom, that one's going to.
Those are nice.
Likely. Yeah, I like those ones. So people sometimes are like, hey, like,
product.
But sometimes people are just like, hey, like, why don't you start getting into like $1.5, $2 million properties in Pickering? I was just like, hey, man, you know what? Those are nice properties and whatever else like that. But I have a nice little forte here and like, just under the $1 million, just slightly over and just under the $1 million mark.
No, it's sweet.
And I'm able to move those like very, very, very quickly. So why mess with that?
I think I always went back to is like, if you have a store, you want to have different products, right? And this is like, so I'll have like, like the super elite that I have now, the 2.6 million. Yeah. Then I have like the mid to upper range of like 1.4. Then there's that like first-time buyer in Peel region called the Caledons, 839. Yeah. Then I had that townhouse for like 425. Yeah. And it's like, and what else do we have? Yeah, and then those other 2 properties now coming out will be one in Bolton, one in Alliston. So Alliston will be like a townhouse 4.5. Yeah, that's good. And then the one in Bolton will be around the 580 mark. So those are, it's like a full inventory, right? And plus like at the development site that I'm selling, which is my personal stuff.
See, for me, I'll like take them and I know I can work them, but like if I'm specifically targeting something,
fair enough.
I'm going in that spot. I'm going in that spot just under $1 million if I'm specifically targeting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because that's what moves. It's going to move quickly, right? Like anything that I think we've really priced anywhere between that 550 and 700 number, boom, 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 it's gone. Yeah.
The only good thing with those big listings, like naturally, they're slower. Yeah. Showings are very sporadic. Yeah. But when they sell, it helps. Like, you can't depend on those to like run your business. This is what I'm saying. Like, but when they do pop, it's it's basically the gravy on top.
Yeah,
But like
yeah,
the
yeah.
stuff that we're dealing with
Yeah.
on a regular basis, like that under $1 million, a little bit over $1 million
Yeah.
and down, like those are paying the bills, getting the business keep running.
Yeah.
And then when that thing pops, it's like, okay, we can take a 5-day vacation.
Yeah,
We got enough money to
5-day
afford.
vacation.
It's a tough year, buddy. Honestly.
Yeah.
I'm seeing now, like, just consumers themselves, like, it's starting to tie up pretty badly. I'm starting to see people like just tying up.
Really, yeah?
Yeah, I'm a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm not pessimistic, but I'm just being aware of what's going on,
Yeah.
the surroundings. I'm just watching people and the debt loads, and then how they're servicing it. Just not even just colleagues, right? Like the people we know, and it's just like I don't know how it's done, and it can't be forever, right? It's almost like the last party before going to war. So,
but that's what we've been kind of talking about, right? So the thing is, some of this stuff, like, and I think this is where you kind of start to really get, I don't want to say scared, but concerned to a certain point. And it's just like you see what's kind of happening in the marketplace. Like I get it. There's a lot of agents that, like, specifically in our business, that are doing well and whatever else like that, but I talk to so many other agents too, and they're just like, hey, what's going on? Like, things are not happening. How is it for you? Honestly, like, I've had this conversation with a dozen agents over the last 2 weeks. Like, they're like, how are you doing it? It's very slow. And some of these guys are good producers. So, that combined with how the market is kind of behaving and consumer behavior, it's kind of scary. Like, I didn't look into it or anything else like that. And it's a little bit like, it's obviously US, but like Tom Ferry had something that came up, and I didn't look at the whole thing. It was one of his YouTube videos, I think. And it basically is like, prepare for like depression or whatever else like that, like in the US. Like, so
in the US,
that's like, they're saying like, prepare for like winter kind of thing or whatever,
I have money in Miami. That thing needs to sell.
But Bud, you know what happens when a US starts to talk like that,
no,
right?
there,
Like, I mean, we're so tied to
but
the US economy.
we stayed resilient the last time because our housing market picked up the slack with
in 2007, 2008, right?
Yeah.
Like, we were okay. Like, I think we had a very small dip.
Very small,
very small dip, but like nothing significant from there.
Because I was looking for a personal residence at the time. I remember going to Great Golf Homes. It was bordered between Woodbridge and Brampton, nice little site. And I went to Great Golf Homes. We're going to buy a 1.5 car garage, 1,900 square foot detached, beautiful house, stuccos, like a beautiful little home. And I think they were asking like 350 something, 356,
Jeez.
something like crazy. Right? I said, Eagle. Didn't know shit. That wasn't even real estate. Then I got, next week it'll be lower. I'll come back. Next week it was 373.
Yeah.
Then it was like 410. I'm like, I can't afford it anymore.
I'm out. Yeah, it's screwed up. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a little hiccup. But I remember before that, we're looking at houses in 2009 and personal residence, again, before I was a realtor. And the builders, again, were offering finished basements. They were saying, Townwood Homes, for example, the houses where I was the actual carpenter framing the houses. Yeah. We went into the actual house that I framed when my dad was in Italy. So we did the roof and everything. It was like a little bit of a, like a little bit of my little baby there. The first roof I assembled. So anyway, going there and I remember it was like, we'll give you that, and then we'll throw in the basement, and if you want, we can, put some landscaping. That was 2009. So
wow.
And then it just picked up. It just
then it went crazy after that.
It went nuts.
Yeah.
There was a small hiccup.
Let's see, man. Let's see. And then, like, hopefully with consumer behavior and everything else like that, everything lines up, I
think you got to start tailoring, like, even for us expenses, like, we're still doing well. So, like, even now, like, I didn't push as many sales. I don't think, I got to check now. I think I'm okay, like, dollar-wise compared to last year coming in, what I put assembled, because they're a little bit bigger sales. But I think I'm less sales, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I got to take a look at that. I'm not worried because I got a bunch of stuff in the pipe. I'm okay with it. But I think I got to tailor also expenses right now. Like, you got to be cool with that.
Yeah,
right?
and I think
even
that's
household expenses.
Yeah, I think that's where my focus is at right now too. Is just like looking at expenses and even seeing where you can cut back a little bit further right now. I think that's going to be important. Not to the point of basically where you're going to harm your business. No. But the thing is that if there is something extra or whatever else, I'm being very careful with it.
Well, how many calls do you get a day with people calling, offering services? This is a prospecting tool. This generates leads. This is count. Before in the past, you're like, okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. You're going to throw some money at that. Now it's like, that's all obsolete.
Yeah,
we
don't
want
need
anything
that.
to do with that. We're going to stick to what we know and go forward.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a better plan moving forward.
Even the taxes, like I think by all my corporation taxes, even personal taxes, by end of Jan, mid-Feb, I paid everybody off.
Okay,
I swear to God, I don't want to do nothing to do with it. And my accountant knows. He's like, why are you so advanced? He's like, you got until, like, the corporations are obviously filed at a different time, but But the even person, I'm like, I don't want to deal with it. I said,
Yeah, but if
because it's not my money.
you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay it. Just get rid of it.
Get
That's
rid
what
of
I
it.
would do.
Yeah. It's the best way to do it. And then you know what? It's maybe I should hold on to it. I don't know, but
I don't think so. But for
just
like
send it on.
I mean, like, look, man, the amount of money you're going to hold on to it, what are you going to actually end up doing with it? How much benefit is it going to be?
I don't know.
I don't know, but the thing is that benefit versus the stress on my mind of like I have to still deal with this. I'd rather just pay it and say, hey, have a nice day.
Always send it in. Now we got to watch out with income splitting naturally.
Yeah.
Like you got to, they're cracking down on that. So now all the CRAs supposedly they have algorithms to follow. Before it was some rando at his desk.
Yeah.
And like looking at different files or picking the top 100. Right.
Yeah.
Now it's algorithms running through everything.
Yeah.
So it can go through millions of people like in a week. I mean,
it's like that plate scanner the police use, right? It's like they drive by and they like scan all these.
So they're looking for irregularities
Yeah.
in the actual filings.
Yeah.
So my accountant called me. He was like, he was out of breath. Frank, what happened? Everything okay? We gotta be careful. Frank, what's going on? You got it. It's the end. Like the algorithms are coming up. I'm like, take it easy. Let's just correct things, right? Because if you do income splitting, naturally, you try to do 50-50 or something like that. Now you just kind of offset it a bit. Yeah. It is what it is. But my wife does work for me. She does stuff for me, right? It's not like she's taking a paycheck for not doing anything. She's doing a lot of shit that maybe a lot of people wouldn't do. And dealing with me is like it's like a $10,000 extra on top of the salary, right? I'm not a very easy person to deal with. That's my assistant. She'll tell you.
Yeah. She doesn't say much though.
She's the best.
But yeah, man. But being with expenses and everything, and it just reminds me of what Grant Cardone said. Like I was watching one of his video clips where he's got this brand new Bentley. And then he's like, you know what? I could have bought this, like, I think he says like 10 years ago. Yeah. And he's like, but I didn't. Yeah. And then he's like, now? He's like, they call him like every year or every 2 years, like, okay, which one do you want us to drop off for you now or whatever else? Yeah. It's like doing those kind of crazy things or when you can actually just be like, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's when I like to do those. Like, okay, so even when I bought that Viper I have, dude, like when I bought that car, like nothing can shake me from it. Like I bought it when I paid it off, like immediately. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a nice car.
Yeah, but there's nothing on it. You know what I mean? So if my business goes up or down or whatever, same thing.
That's the way to do that.
But same thing like my house or anything else that I own. You know, I'm not dependent. I am dependent on my business, of course, right? But the thing is that it's not so volatile.
You have a breathing room.
Exactly. Yeah. Like my expenses aren't so high that if something goes wrong, then I'm like immediately need to liquidate or freak out or do anything else like that. Like you have enough breathing space, like what you said.
100%. And it's even now like so. Obviously, the holding corp has a good set of money there that can float everything for a year without taking
that's where you
salary.
Want to be. Yeah.
But you don't want to touch that money. It pains me to pull $1 out of there. Honestly,
ultimately,
older I'm getting, the more like cheap I'm becoming, in the sense where I'm hating to spend it, right?
Yeah. Dude, I had to get a bank draft and it cost $750 and I'm like, come on, man. Like, I don't want to pay this $750 out of this. I even told the teller, I said, look at my accounts, man. Like, you can't charge me this $750.
They waive it? They should waive it. Yeah, of course. Yeah. No,
they're like, the draft is $750. I was like, come on. There's no way I'm paying the $750. Like, you're not going to charge me the $750.
Sure, all the transactions.
Yeah. So you're not going to charge me the $750.
We got to figure something out with those holding the trust accounts to get interest on them. Are you getting interest on yours?
Yeah, but it wasn't that much, bro. I don't know.
Are you getting interest on yours?
I think so. Like they sent me, what is it, T5?
See, they didn't. So they set me up wrong there. They didn't give me a
trust
bearing interest or interest bearing account.
I think one of them was like $50 or $60, and one of them was like $300.
Okay, that pays for all the stupid fees that come in through all the transfers.
I guess, that's true. That's true. That's true.
So I got to talk to these guys again. I'm going to say, because I think
they set my card up wrong too. Like I'm getting off topic right now, but mine they set up so wrong, man. Rico is calling me and saying like, "Hey, your signature card is wrong." Now I got to go to freaking Brampton where they set up my goddamn.
So
card.
mine was wrong in the beginning too, but I caught it early on. Oh, 2016.
Bastard! Now they're just like telling me mine's wrong.
Yeah, because you need a trade name and all kinds of stuff.
They sent me a whole list of shit I got to fix now.
Yeah. Just give them to your assistant.
Yeah, I should.
Deal with it.
Yeah, man. Moving along.
So that's pretty much it. Yeah. So talking about even the market itself, like see now we're looking at consumers. Not even just because bankruptcies rate is up 15% in 2018. The last half of 2018, bankruptcy rate is up 15%. And this year here, we know there's going to be a lot more.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a
by
lot of
far.
problems. Yeah.
So what I'm looking at, even so, like colleagues, consumer, even just people around us, regular folks
Sure,
like
yeah,
us.
yeah.
I'm watching their spending habits and how they can maintain everything. It doesn't look really good, right? So what I'm thinking now is I might even liquidate a few of my rental properties.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to sell that land. It's got naturally that's a different thing. If I sell it doesn't sell, they don't care. It's got 2 properties in the vacant lot. But if that goes, fine. But I'm thinking of selling my actual rental properties I was going to hold long term. I think it's time. It's perfect timing.
Yeah.
Because they've capped out in value. I kind of see those values going up extremely, or appreciating extremely in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So why not cash out? Cash out. What I'm thinking of doing is reinvest, put it back into real estate. I'm not going to.
Well, you got it.
But they're peaked because
Yeah.
now I got to have to do windows and roofs on
Yeah.
both properties very soon, and then run a renovation flooring and kitchens.
Yeah.
So let's just say 30,000. Let's say 20 to 25,000 per house. It's 50 G's.
Yeah.
That's, why not unload that all now, get cashed out, and then ultimately put the money back into something
Yeah.
newer or just duplex properties.
Yeah.
And then I think so I can pull out. I think it's just 2 properties, almost 600,000 in equity.
That's awesome.
That's friggin' amazing.
Yeah.
So what I can do with that is just pump them back into duplexes, and then I can lend out money periodically, right?
I think it's a great idea.
Because even I know you've done it, and I've done it last year. Mine was a short term, like 12% at 70K.
That's awesome.
But you were doing, how much was it?
I did. So I did a couple of smaller ones, but the larger one I did was 80K at 15%. 3% was paid up front and 12% monthly.
Monthly.
So it was like $2,400. I think I got right up front for doing the loan.
Yeah.
And $800 a month.
So what are they doing now? So I think it's 8% the going rate right now at 100,000.
Look, man, I got offers again. Like there's another guy that wants to pay me 18% for something.
But how risky is the
But
mortgage?
that one is a risky one.
But talking like either a first or a second, but like maybe just a second, but like loan to value ratio being like 60.
Bro,
60%.
if you can, I think if you can even catch them at like 70, 75
75,
is okay,
fine,
right?
yeah.
Like 60 is like, they can probably get a better rate otherwise, right?
fair enough, yeah.
I'd rather take on some of these other guys, but even with the person that we arranged the loan for, we actually, my brother and I went to their house, we met with them, we took a look at the house, like I did my own evaluation of the house, but then we also ordered the appraisal, so we're in line, like, and the people are nice people and whatever else, understood the circumstances of why they were actually borrowing this money and what they were going to do with the money.
Can you talk about it? Why they were?
Yeah, so basically the thing is that they got involved with the timeshare, what they probably shouldn't have. The guy was into retirement already. They had some high interest debts that they were trying to pay off. So instead of like continuing to pay those high interest places or whatever else, they borrowed the cash, and then so basically they were saving a ton of money on the interest at the same time.
Doing it through you.
Yeah, doing it through me. So they were like even paying the 12%.
Consolidate their debt.
Yeah, even paying the 12% in interest, they were still saving a lot of money. Some of their stuff was out at like 20%.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
They had visas lined up.
Like
visas?
even I think they got stuck with one timeshare deal that really screwed them up badly or something like that. But and then they have an exit plan at the same time. They're selling the house, like they're going to sell the house, right? So they have an exit plan. So we knew why they were borrowing the money. We made sure we secured the money against the house and everything makes sense. Yeah. And they have an exit plan. So as long as I can walk through a step, like some guy sent me another deal and it's just like, it's so shady. Like
what
you're looking, it's in Pickering, but you're looking at the paperwork and what this guy does, and it just to me. It
ran through the photocopier a few times.
Yeah, but you know what, man?
To make it look old.
it doesn't make sense. Like,
what was the loan to value ratio?
It was like 80.
Yeah,
I don't want to touch it. And then like the income is not supported, like how this person's actually getting money and stuff like that. It's just. There's no point.
It's a lot of. So my mortgage agent too. He was talking about fraud cases, right? Because he owns his own brokerage.
Yeah. He has fraud cases.
Yeah. So he's talking about some people. He knows the business well, and he deals with people every day regarding like agents, because he owns it. The brokerage lends out $600 million a year, like pretty decent, like amazing producing people, right? But he says, people are out there. They're still doing fraudulent paperwork, right? Yeah. Or the employment letters are supplied by the realtor. But crazy.
But I heard.
Would you take a chance like that? Like even realtors, are they nuts?
Yeah, but that's just
better
it's
off
stupid.
Door knocking like day and night until you make one deal.
Yeah, it's not smart. It's not a smart move.
It's not long term.
No, for sure not. But see, the thing is that from what my understanding about it is that people do this kind of paperwork and then they submit it. And then what ends up happening is that if the lender feels uneasy about it just before closing, they ask you to verify the document in the sense of, I forgot what the form is called, but they give you a certain form and you got to get it signed. You sign this form and it basically lets them go to CRA. It's an authorization form. It's an authorization form to check your numbers with CRA.
This new?
No, this is like a while ago I heard about. So the thing is that you think everything is good. You submitted the paperwork, it's approved, blah, blah, blah. And then they do a review just before closing. And then they look at it and they're like, something doesn't rub us the right way about this thing. Yeah. Sign this form. And if you don't sign the form,
they don't give you the mortgage.
They're not going to give you the mortgage. They already know something's wrong. Okay, so now my point with that is that I think that what they're doing or they're trying to do now is that have that link with CRA automatically now.
Makes sense.
And basically just say, hey, like we're going to be able to, just like pulling your credit.
1,000%. And you know what? It's beneficial even for us selling agents.
Yep.
Like, you have these buyers. Look at the case there. Like going back to this condo, it's very popular because it was a tough sale. Anyways, first offer that came in, we secured it conditionally. They had 7 days on condition. When I see 7 days on condition,
I don't like
there's
that.
something going on back there. Agents always put 5 days. Yeah. And then extend it 7 days later if you have to.
Yeah. Don't come in with 7.
Yeah, don't go in with 7 days. It waves like 19 flags. So naturally, first reaction is swipe out the 7, put in 5 days. We want 5 banking days. Oh, it might take long.
You're nice, bro. When they do something like that, I put in 3 and see their reaction. Yeah, because I want to know because this didn't make sense. Sorry, and to cut you off.
So just fast forward. It fell through on financing.
Of course.
Why? So we did the 5 days. We secured the deal in 5 days because I wiped out the 7. And then they had to extend it 2 days just right before the holidays.
You were expecting that?
Yeah. And then it was like, we can't do it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for coming out.
You spend money on a whole pillar to post on a condo. That's like a $300-400 inspection.
And don't forget your $750 for your bank draft.
$750. Yeah, and the deposit check came like within like 5 hours. I was like, wow, this chick's on the ball. This is done. When you see deposit checks getting dropped off quick, you're like, yeah, this is good.
Usually, I guess, right?
But
Usually.
You know what? I wonder how many documentations that were not legitimate in the behind this deal itself. So I'd rather maybe like what you're talking about, the CRA approval and all this crap like that. Maybe it's screened them out and screen them right out of the market, so it doesn't affect us on closing.
I think that's the best thing to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just go right to the source, check the income, verify the income. But I mean, like, look, there are different ways to get around. But there are proper ways of getting around. I think it's RBC. RBC still has a stated income program. RBC still says, like, if you're self-employed, you go to RBC and you're like, I make $200K or whatever, right? And then they're like, okay, great. As long as you have enough equity to back it up, they don't care. Sign here, whatever. It's all good. I'm sure it's not that simple, but I mean, like, they have a stated income program.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It was more popular before, but I think that's one of the lenders I think that still has a stated income program. Yeah.
That's interesting. So even Scotiabank's really good for investments. Like
investments, they're very good.
Like secondary properties.
Yes,
like
because they account for a lot more of the rent, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because everything's through them. I gotta be honest. Every mortgage, like, so it's funny because all my banking's all split up in like 4 different banks, and everyone's got a piece of something. But Scotia's like there's nothing but mortgages there.
Yeah, I'm like 100% tied in with TD right now.
Yeah.
I was at TD yesterday, and they're like. I was doing a bunch of stuff through different accounts, and then so she's like, well, how's everything going with TD? I was like, well, you got my life in here since I was like 18 years old, so like.
Oh, you've been with them for yeah.
So I've been there for a very long time. But they give me everything I want.
Service is great.
Yeah, they give me everything I want, right? Yeah. Like I even had a hiccup one time, like getting this loan or whatever else, but.
Did they secure it?
Yeah,
they did.
They pulled through an exception, and they're like, whatever. And it wasn't a small exception; it was a big ass exception.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You need partners like that, right?
Yeah. So I'm happy with them. But I think now, since we moved to a corp style or whatever else like that, I don't think I qualify for anything anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's tough, eh?
Yeah.
But if you pay yourself a salary, you should be fine.
But how much are you going to pay yourself, bro? You're going to pay yourself $150 or $60?
Yeah. you need at least 150 to 170 to survive.
This is what I'm saying, and I don't want to take it.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. You want to touch on this a little bit?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it candid because we started to talk
Yeah.
about it, and I think it was better we do it genuinely.
Yeah.
Or genuine.
I only wrote down the numbers because I wanted to know what the numbers meant. But the thing is that I ran across a mortgage agent.
So what are we talking about? Rent to own. Yeah.
Rent to own. So I ran across a mortgage agent, and they've talked to me before, and I'm like, listen, I'm good. Like, I got a bunch of people in the branches. Like, I'm good, right? Like, thanks. If I need something, I'll reach out to you.
Yeah.
So I ended up running into them, and they're just like, well, we have this like rent to own program, and it's great for your clients. So I was like, okay, tell me about it. Like, I've heard about rent to own, but like, if it benefits my clients, tell me about it. So it's basically the example like we have is that, you know, we have a client that doesn't qualify for a mortgage due to credit or whatever else, really because of credit, because you go to buy a $600,000, you like the $600,000 house, you want to buy it today. So what ends up happening is that this mortgage agent gets an investor to buy the $600,000 house.
Okay.
So that investor buys this house, and then you pay 4% of the purchase price to secure it. So you pay 4% of the purchase price, which will go towards your down payment. Okay? And then what you do is that you pay monthly market rent or the rent to cover the costs for this investor. So the investor is really out no money whatsoever. And what happens is that they say that the property makes like
mortgage goes under who though? The investor.
Investor, yeah, because the whole point is that the buyer can't get it, right? So the investor buys the property and essentially rents it out with a 4% deposit to somebody.
Yeah.
And then that person pays the rent in order to cover the expenses. So the investor is really out nothing except their down payment or whatever, right? But they own a property.
But they own the property.
But they own the property.
Yeah.
And this person's paying all the monthly expenses associated with it, really. So what ends up happening is that say that property appreciates 3.5%, 600,000 of property in 3 years would be like 665. So what ends up happening in 3 years is that now you could buy that property for 665.
So there's no point.
So what was the point?
It's great for investors, but not for our clients.
So that's what I was kind of saying. It's like, so what is the purpose of rent to own?
Yeah.
The only one purpose I can see of rent to own is someone who's like, oh, I'm a homeowner. But it doesn't make any sense, right? Because the thing is that the whole purpose, the primary objective, I think, for owning a home is to build up the equity in it. Of course, you need a place to live or whatever else like that. But to actually, go into it.
This is a regular option in old world countries like Europe. Like, I'll give you an example. My mom's brother, which is in Sicily, they rent to own, but they've never owned it. They've literally been renting to own for like 30 years.
Come on.
But this is old world options. Like,
so what do you mean? How does that work? How do you rent for 30 years?
So basically that's what they do, right? Instead of leasing, this is a portion of their what, so it's $500 a month.
Yeah.
Their rent, because there is maybe $200 a month.
Yeah.
So cheap, right, in Italy. So maybe just a portion, like $30 a month, might just go to the principal, to the deposit of the actual property.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what that term is, where it's at 3.5% in 3 years or 4 years. So he's paying it towards that, and then he'll have an option, let's say at the end of that term, to buy the property for the amount that you want. But what happens is it's literally a hamster spinning on a wheel, because he just becomes a renter, glorified renter in this sense.
Yeah, you're never going to catch up.
No, it's not. For our clients, I would definitely.
I would say
avoid
this
it like
is
the plague, because you're going into bed with number one, investors that want you to fail.
Yeah.
Right. So they take that big deposit up front.
Yeah. So
right?
on $600K, that was $24,000.
Yeah. And then naturally they want you to, like, at when it's worth $665,000, it's like, no, we don't want it, right?
Yes, but put it this way too. Like, if we have a client that, or someone has a client that goes into something like that, they can't afford to buy the property today for their credit issues or whatever. How is it guaranteed that in 3 years or whatever that they're going to be out of a problem? Like, obviously they got into this problem for some way.
Somebody sold them a dream.
Out. So basically, like, you lose your $24,000 and you're basically out, or you're continuing to rent and you lose your $24,000.
Do you lose the $24,000?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because
right?
It's a deposit.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's a deposit, right?
To own this property.
Yeah. And say, for example, like I did a math at 3.5%, so that brings a $600,000 property.
Imagine with 10, 12%.
Yeah, but imagine if the freaking property is only worth 640 or 635. I don't know.
Yeah.
What if it only goes up 1%, 1.5%?
Yeah,
I don't know.
This is just, these are just gimmicks to get more money out of people, right?
At the end of the day, for a consumer,
it's decent.
For a consumer, it's not worth it.
No.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah. If somebody told me, hey, Hussein, we have this opportunity, you buy this house and they're going to pay you this much, I'd be like, done. right? Like done. Like I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is that for a consumer, it's not worth it.
It's too messy even as an investor. I know some people in Bolton that are doing it. They bought a
As
few
investors?
townhouses
Yeah.
and they're doing that rent to own.
Yeah.
Because it's a concept, like again, old countries, this is an option that they regularly use. And they're trying to reconvert it in like our new countries here, right? But I think it's just a gimmick, right? For investors to put money together and then hopefully the tenant never owns the property and stays long term, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's messy because even as an investor, how about if you're tied into the property, you want to unload this bloody thing? Like, I don't know, it's you got mixed feelings there, right? I think if you're a big time investor, you might have different options.
Sure.
Like your
that makes sense actually.
and your rent to owns and some other stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
that makes
single
sense.
townhouses. But I mean, if that's your only investment and you're tied into this thing for 3 to 5 years with this, it could be a nightmare. How about if these guys are they're growing, they're cooking meth in the basement, like
Yeah.
and you can't kick them out because they got some sort of ownership to the property.
And you know what? And I hate to say it, but like I mean, now I think about doing like a rental deal, right? The thing is with a rental deal, I look at their credit reports and scrutinize every aspect of it, and you basically build up a character profile with
100%.
it. So the thing is that now you're putting somebody in a house that has like you've built up a pretty negative character profile for how they're going to treat the house.
And you're tied to that's a marriage.
Yeah,
it's a bad marriage.
I don't know, man. So when this person told me about it, it was very
they always throw this stuff. See, in Brampton's a different world. Like that little city, it's very like
Bangladesh.
Robust. Like ton of entrepreneurial spirit in Brampton is next to none. Like it's like, but I'm telling you, you see things and you hear things. And things that get done is just like, wow, it's the Wild West. Every property in Brampton, you have to sell it 2 to 3 times in order for. I'm telling you, these guys just randomly throw offers at everything.
I know. Remember that one I had over there? Like I sent you to show like a while ago for me, and it's just like, oh my gosh, the quality of people that I'm dealing with over there is just nuts, and they don't even understand. Like I feel like I run such a proper business, and I want my contracts to look nice and whatever, and then they send it to you, and you're just like I don't even understand. And they go across and they're like, oh, I'm like whatever amount ranked in thing. And I'm like, dude, like this offer looks like shit.
Just throw. That's where all the RICO claims come from. Is
Brampton.
Peel Ridge, which is Brampton.
Never
mind Mississauga, just
sure,
Brampton. It's the Wild West.
Wow.
I sold a property there just before Christmas. I sold it 3 times. Like literally, like one offer, we're good. Oh, no good. Second one, we're good. It was before Christmas. Like told my client, we're gonna sell before Christmas. So we sold it the 20th. And then we sold it like the 24th.
Oh God!
And I was like, then we sold it just before New Year's Eve again.
Come on.
It was just Randall's, right? Like I don't understand the agent. Like, ask your client questions. Like you're going out, you're spending hours upon hours going to properties, viewing properties, spending time with them, and then you're submitting offers, and they're not even qualified. Like that does not make sense to me.
But
stay at home and watch TV. Watch Netflix. There's a lot of good shit on Netflix right now. You can stay home and you spend your time better.
But you know what? I think it has to also do with the number of part-time agents that were probably out there at the same time.
These are full-time though.
No, but look at this. But if they catch one of these guys, maybe it's a good day for them.
Yeah, but we suffer.
I know, but
we suffer.
What are we gonna do, man?
I think we have to work. The last podcast, we have to work together.
Yeah.
Screen your shit. Like, listen, things happen. It happens to all the best of us, right? To the best of us. But this is just, how can so many happen in a row, like in the same property?
In the same area.
That's just in the same area. That's a virus.
That's just, I think that's just what you have to.
on
like, so for people
non-due diligence.
But people like you and I, like we're going to be very careful when we're listing property in Brampton, and we're going to ask different set of questions than I would ask in Pickering.
Yeah, but you ask them and they lie to you. They even text you like, yeah, everything, financing's good. I have texts, and I make sure I get texts because then your clients may not believe you. It's like, hey, listen, like those are the texts that I received.
Wow.
Like, and I tell them before we accept the offer, like I can't guarantee anything.
Yeah,
We're in Brampton, guys. Like this, I swear to God. I go, but these are the text messages. This is the questions that I asked, and this is the answers I got.
Yeah.
If you feel, we don't have no other offer to deal with right now.
So you might as well.
It's the best of the table. Deposits, everything looks good. Everything looks kosher, but it could go sour.
It could.
And and then sure enough, it went sour. And then the next one went a little bit. Even the second one, everyone's all excited. I said, don't drink any champagne. Don't cut a cake. Don't do any celebration.
But in general, that's what I tell people, man.
Yeah.
Until the deal is firm.
Until a paycheck.
See, I was telling people when it's firm, but I was like, you could start at this point. But like, when you can really celebrate it is when you got your check.
Check.
Yeah,
and the
like
keys
closing date.
out of your hand.
Yeah, like a closing date when you have a check. That's when you're done. Anything can happen before that.
1000%.
Yeah, anything can happen. Yeah.
Just like we were talking in the last podcast is with over appraisal or selling a property too high, then the appraisals don't come in.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, right?
Yeah. And that's going to happen more and more now too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody else about that. Same example I was giving last time. It's like some of these new construction properties are coming in appraised at like $100,000 less, $150,000 less. Yo, man, and the thing is that, you know, they may have had a home that was worth, say, $1 million, and they said, oh, well, everything is going great, and, you know, it's going to be even like 1.2 by the time we go to sell. So that 1.2, and then buying this, we push a little extra over here, and guess what? Their house was worth $1 million. They thought it was going to be worth 1.2, and now their house is worth like $900K.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they overcommitted on the other one. So, and then that one's coming in short too. So they're really down like $200,000-300,000.
Well, look at this. I have one case with a client. He's actually went rogue. I think because he didn't like what I was going to tell him to list the house at because the value's not there anymore. He bought the new construction through me. Like he called me and says, hey, I want to buy this house. Okay, fair enough. You're going to sell this now? No, we're going to sell when the market's going to keep going. Be careful. You know, you avoid them. Like not avoid them, but you tell them, be careful, like we're not guaranteed here, right? Even before, in April when the market was like ending, I text all my clients from new construction. Guys, if you got a place to go, unload it now. No, we can get more next year. Everyone had this, I can only go so much. So let's say 2.5 million purchase, and the builder wants what, 15%?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, geez. $375,000.
Yeah, so that's a deposit naturally, right? Oh. So this house, so the gentleman listed the house with an agent in the area, but like his personal residence, super overpriced. Like it's probably about $180,000 more than market, you know, and naturally it got terminated and expired. But I never saw the listing come back up, and I went to go see the property. It's built, baseboards are in, floors in, still needs to be cleaned up. Like there's some minor details that need to be finished before delivering. Well, how that's going to be in the market. That's a builder who's going to take that big deposit and ultimately and potentially sue these people or sell this product for, let's say, $2 million now, right?
But there's going to be so many, like what you're saying, even with suing. But like there's going to be so many court cases. Like the courts are going to be backed up so far with all these things. But if you look at the builder, if he sells it for $2 million, he's got almost $400,000 in deposit. He's almost exactly where he sold it. He might take like $100,000 haircut. It's not so bad, $200,000 haircut. But the profit on these houses were like. Probably they're
like
massive.
Maybe $1 million.
Yeah,
at
they're
least.
massive. They're massive.
The land was all squished together. Basically, the eavesdrops of the houses are touching. $2.5 million houses on 60-foot lots. Eavesdrops touching.
No way. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. So imagine how much could that lot have costed?
Nothing.
$300,000.
I was gonna say $300,000-400,000 bucks.
$700-800 to build because 5,000 square feet. It's not $1 million. $1 million would be custom. So let's say 800.
Even if it was $1 million, bro. If it's $1 million, you're all in at $1.5 million.
We'll say like 1.5 million.
Yeah, you're all in at $2.5 million. Yeah,
profit.
That's what you were saying. It's $1
Holy
million.
Shit.
That's HST and whatever else. You're probably $700K. But like, how many of these did they build? You know what I mean?
It's like
that's what I'm
like
saying.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They probably made like $100 million on that site.
God bless.
Good for them.
Good for them. I want to be there. But anyway, it's a sad story for them. But I mean, ultimately, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
shit happens, right?
It shit happens.
That's it, buddy.
It's all good.
You ready to sign off? Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, guys. This was East Meets West podcast. If you guys have any questions or you want to school me on rent to own, feel free to.
That's it, guys. Yeah, school him on rent to own. I don't agree with it. I don't think he agrees with it, but that's all good. Have an amazing day, guys, and we'll talk next week.
Cheers.
Ciao.